Hello, and welcome to another exciting episode of the Brain Ladle Trivia Podcast. I am your host, Orange Belt Davo, joined on the Orange Belt platform, finally, by Orange Belt Andy.
Thank you very much. Happy to be here.
And we are both looking up to the sky, to the purple haze that is Purple Belt Kels.
Hello, everyone.
This is what it's like when doves cry.
But on that distant mountaintop, holding a pebble we must grab, is Sensei Neil.
Hello, everybody. Hey, Davo, in case there's someone who's just joining us, do you want to explain the whole orange and purple belt thing?
That's true. This season of the Brain Ladle Trivia Podcast, we are embarking on a kumite of trivia knowledge. We decided we needed to spice things up a bit. We were a little too cordial last season, and we need to determine who is the trivia sensei. Neil was killing it last season, no doubt. So he's got the pebble we have to take. And right now, Kels looks like the one most likely to take it.
Oh, let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Well, you've gotten ahead of us, so that's why I say that.
This is true.
I'm still at the wax on, wax off level of the game, pretty much.
And Sensei Neil wants that car shining.
Next is painting.
Ooh. So Sensei Neil, what will you be challenging us with today?
Today's theme, well, I'll explain the rules a little bit. Each week we have a theme, and within that theme we've got 6 categories of 4 questions each. Each question is worth 10 points, and there's going to be a few bonus points thrown in here and there. And then we've got a final question that is worth up to 100 points. And today's theme is oceans.
Oh.
Large bodies of water. And our first category in oceans is, everybody? Yes. Now, I was hoping to, I feel like you guys did too well on my last science question, my last science section. So I thought I made these pretty hard, but then I was going over them with some friends of mine at work, and they were getting all of them right. So I'm afraid I might have made it too easy. So if I did make it too easy, I apologize.
Are your friends at work oceanographers?
No, I mean they're computer people mostly, but so
is the first round is supposed to be the warm up? We limber up the trivia muscles. We don't want to pull anything. Why do you want us to trip and fall right away?
Because I want you to be able to go uphill from there.
Oh, see, teaching
It's
through
hard to clown
adversity.
It's hard to clown with a shredded hamstring.
But like I said, I think this one is going to end up being a lot easier than I thought it was. So let's see how it goes.
So.
I'm going to put my liberal arts degree to the test.
Yes. Don't you all have liberal arts degrees?
We do.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm biology.
You are?
Yeah, that was my focus.
Oh.
Well, There you go. All right.
Yeah.
We'll start off with a simple question. Within 1 million cubic miles, what is the estimated volume of the oceans of this planet?
Yeah, you're right. These are way too easy. Oh. Yeah, I mean, me and my friends were just having a drinking contest and figuring this out.
I was kind of hoping for spell ocean.
OSHUN.
If there's not an entire category on Billy Ocean, I'm going to be so mad.
Sure. I'll like that.
All right, repeat the question again.
It won't help, Andy.
I know.
Within
1 million
cubic miles, what is the estimated volume of the oceans? Not the surface area, the volume.
Oh, Miles,
All
I
right.
did feet. Hold on a second. let
All
me
right, the
move.
ocean, I believe, covers 72% of the planet. Carry the one.
I'm locked in.
I'm locked in.
I'll play your games, Trebek.
I'm locked in.
Yeah, I'm locked in. God, this is terrible.
Okay. Kels, why don't you start us off?
All right, I'll start with my logic. Two of my favorite basketball players growing up, Allen Iverson and Michael Jordan. So I put their numbers together, and I came up with 323 million.
Okay. Andy.
I went with 1 billion.
Wow. That's a great number.
Yeah. I know.
Davo.
I went with 250 million.
Okay. The answer is, I mean, this is an estimate. Keep in mind, and it's nobody can't really measure it. You're taking the average and so on. But the number I have is, what did you say, Kels?
323 million.
The correct answer is 322,280,000.
Are you kidding?
No way.
Are you
Serious.
kidding
No way.
You're not serious.
I'm serious.
So it's not a billion.
It's not a billion.
Is that what you're saying?
It's more like a third of a billion.
Wait a minute. Is a billion more or less than a million? I can never keep that
Oh my
straight.
god.
Well done,
I'm not
Kels.
sure you're playing the right game, Andy.
Oh, man.
word. What are the
All right.
lottery numbers? Because the lottery has more dollars in it than the volume of the ocean.
All right. Question 2. Not all oceans are on our planet. Saturn's moon Titan has seas that are primarily made up of 3 main hydrocarbons. What are those 3 main hydrocarbons? And for a bonus, what's the name of the probe that orbited Saturn for 13 years and confirmed the presence of those oceans?
Ooh, I think I might not know this.
You need to get all 3 of the primary.
Oh, we have to go 3?
There's no partial credit on this one. Okay, because I mean, at least 2 of them are obvious, so they're kind of guineas.
Are they? Okay.
I'm gonna go out on a limb on this, and I just need you to follow my logic.
Okay.
But I'm going to lock
right.
in. Hopefully, my chemistry labs have not let me down.
All right. I'm locked in.
I'm locked in.
Okay. Andy?
Wait a minute. Methane, nitrogen, and hydrogen.
Okay. Davo?
Hydrogen, carbon, and helium.
And Kels. Oh, wait. Did you guys get the bonus? What was the name of the probe that orbited Saturn for 13 years?
I was going to go with Galileo.
Okay.
Galileo.
I'm going with Explorer 1, but that's wrong.
Okay. All right, Kels.
Okay. Now you did say hydrocarbons, right? Okay. Now, if my studies didn't fail me, I went with the hydrocarbons of methane,
Okay.
ethane, and I think Hank Hill used to sell this propane.
Okay.
All right. Now this is where it's gonna get crazy, and I know I'm probably wrong, but you know I like wrestling, right?
I heard that. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
All right. If you haven't noticed, big wrestling fan. There's a guy by the name of Perry Saturn. Davo, you probably remember him.
I do.
All right, you remember his finishing move?
The Rings of Saturn?
Yeah, you're
Mhm.
correct. So he did this really odd promo one time, and he was addressing Dean Malenko, and I only remember this because it was odd. And he said he was going to introduce him to the Cassini division.
Are you
And
kidding me right now?
no,
I think he's right.
And he said he was going to separate his shoulders. And I thought the Cassini division was his new finishing move, but turns out he was just crazy. So I went with Cassini for the probe.
All right.
Okay.
If Kels gets this science question right because of an obscure wrestling quote, I am quitting this game.
Wow.
I'm putting it out there right now. I will go on strike.
That's a bold statement. Well, are you ready for the correct answers?
Mm-hmm.
I will say that Kells is the only one that mentioned 3 hydrocarbons. Hydrocarbons are molecules that are made up of hydrogen and carbon.
Liberal arts degree, man.
And the correct ones are ethane, methane, and Hank Hill's favorite, propane.
Yes.
And the bonus is the probe's name was Cassini.
Attica.
Yep. Good night, everybody.
Come on, Andy. Let's
Turn things off here. Get the screen off.
There's only 2 more. There's only 2 more until we
These
get to music.
radios.
And I'll tell you, just so you know, the first music question is about Billy Ocean. So
How could it not be?
all right, let's move on. Question 3. I was actually kind of struggling with some of the ocean questions. I don't really like the within a certain range for things that some people don't know much about, but I do have another one here. What is the depth? Yeah, I know. Sorry. What is the depth of the Mariana Trench within 100 meters?
I think I might actually.
I think I know this.
I'm gonna lock in.
What is my range?
100 meters. So I'm looking for.
Oh, we're doing this. Did we lose a war or something? What happened to feet and miles? Did I miss something? Did we lose a war, Danny?
We do have international listeners who
we do
meters better.
I see. I can't do the math.
I'm locked in.
I am losing so much. Locked in.
Okay.
Wow.
Davo, do you want to kick us off?
Sure. I was in Andy's boat and I was thinking in feet, but I tried to do a quick gazinta to get me to 9,000 meters.
Okay. Kels?
I went with 11,000 meters.
Andy?
This is interesting. I'm falling in the middle of them. I know it's 36 miles.
Okay.
And I think that's roughly 10,000 meters. I think.
Okay.
Actually, I totally guessed because that's a good round number.
Well, the correct answer.
So I'm surprised I'm in the middle of these guys.
The correct answer is 10,994 meters. Kels, you missed it by 6 meters.
Oh,
so Kels got it.
So,
and Andy didn't.
Wait, we had a range.
I
thought it was 1,000.
It was 100 meters, right?
Yeah, so basically
meters.
11,194 to 10,894.
Okay.
I'm waiting for a table to flip in.
You know what we're teaching kids right now listening to the podcast? hate science. That's what we're teaching.
Okay, well, there's only one left.
Thank
Question
goodness.
4. One of the few dozen species of sea snake, only the yellow-bellied sea snake is completely pelagic. What is its scientific name, genus, and species?
Actually,
Dude,
Kels.
Can you repeat the question again, just so I make sure I heard you right?
Of the few dozen species of sea snake, only the yellow-bellied sea snake is completely pelagic. What is its scientific name, genus, and species?
Dude, we dissected these in
Oh,
comparative
you're kidding me.
morphology.
Wow.
I'm like, damn.
Davo, remember Dr. Williams' Arkansas history class where we dissected those snakes? Yeah,
it was
good
pretty
time.
amazing. Good times. Oh, God.
All right. I wanna meet Neil's friends. Like, oh, these are easy.
Well,
Everybody knows
Kels
that.
is my friend, and he's doing pretty well. He's kind of backing into some of them, but
I'm gonna punt. I'm out.
Ray Guy?
Ray Guy.
Dude, you could have.
So this is a 2-part question, correct? I have to name the scientific name and the genus, right? The scientific name and the
I
genus?
want the genus and species.
Yeah, that's the scientific name. It's the
Oh, okay.
combination
I see.
Like
All
Homo is our genus and species, and Sapien is our species.
Right.
I'm gonna
One
unpunt
biological
illegal
anthropology
procedure.
class.
Illegal procedure. I'm unpunting.
I'll allow.
I might need to save the punt for something later.
Yeah, dude, you could go with any name from the East West.
Okay, I am totally locked in. I think I got this.
You are full of junk.
No, I got this.
I think Andy went with Murgatroyd Skittle.
Murgatroyd Skittle.
Totally got this.
All right, I'm just writing down a thing, and that's it. I'm locked in.
Andy, why don't you start us off?
Jakios dos Snakios.
That is so close. Dave?
I know.
Just put a moray eel because that's the only one I could think of.
Okay. And Kels?
A Hydrophis platerus.
The correct answer is the Hydrophis platerus.
Oh, I knew that too. Because science and things.
Yeah.
So at the end of round 1, I've got Andy and Davo with nothing, but I've got Kels with the answer and 42 points.
He does indeed.
So I feel like...
Hey, Davo, maybe you and I can just start playing Minecraft or something during the first category.
Yeah, why not?
I feel like I should point out something. The Monday after this episode airs, do you guys know what day that is?
Tuesday?
Nope. The Monday after this episode airs on next Tuesday. It's the 1st of April. It's the 1st of April. Which means it's April Fool's Day.
So was this science category an April Fool's? Please tell me this was all an April Fool's joke.
I gave Kelvin the answer.
None of this is.
I gave Kelvin the answers this afternoon.
Are you absolutely kidding me right now?
We've been played.
We've been had.
Dude, which is funny because when you sent the ethane, methane, propane one, I was like, man, those are hydrocarbons. I'm like, I bet that has something to do with the question.
Oh my God.
Genuinely, Neil, when you were talking about how your friends thought this was easy, I was like, this guy is jerking our chain. There is no way anybody was just randomly coming up with these answers.
Wow.
I've been wanting to do that for a long time, and I just realized that this next episode comes out just before April Fool's Day. So
That was beautiful.
That's fantastic.
That was beautifully played.
I was feeling really bad, and now I feel really, really good.
Well, you know what?
That was great.
You know what's going to make you feel even better?
What?
I still have 4 actual science questions.
Oh,
that Kels doesn't have the
let me
answer
cross
to.
these off.
No, I'm gonna struggle.
Kels, by the way, well played, Kels.
You had me.
I never suspected for a minute. Yeah. I thought there was something hinky about your friends saying these are too easy, because I couldn't imagine anybody saying these are too easy.
I've met a couple of Neil's friends, and I could say, yeah.
And I got to admit, we should have suspected, because the three of us are all from the same university. Did you graduate from the U of A too, Neil?
No.
I don't know. Okay, but like
I didn't graduate from there either.
When Kels,
Rock Chalk, sort of baby.
Did. Oh my god!
When Kels was saying we dissected this, I was like, wait a minute. What?
Yeah, that kind of threw me too, because this is a pretty highly venomous snake. You don't.
Well, we didn't go out and kill them. They're dangerous.
You picked the right audience for that bluff, because we had no even slightly any clue about what was going on.
No.
And for the like the Mariana Trench, I gave you a range of about 1% plus or minus, and even less than that.
Yeah, that seemed a little
even
weird.
Less than that for this cubic miles.
Yeah. Oh my god!
All right, you guys ready to start the game?
So
I'm totally limbered up now.
Neil pranking us out of left field. That was just beautiful.
This is what a sensei does. Keeps you on your toes.
That is going down in legend. I can't, as everybody knows, my answer sheets I autograph and sell on eBay. And I imagine this one is going to be sought after with the 4 mock questions.
Well,
so I'm running science again.
I definitely
and the copious amount of cursing.
I was, you could tell when Davo's getting mad because he gets quiet.
I noticed that.
And by the 4th question, Davo was like, I want to be anywhere but here.
Anywhere else.
Anywhere but here.
So it was my idea.
It was very well played.
It was my idea, but I had a great assist there.
Well played.
I learned from the best. So
yeah, Wendy thinks Kels is the nice one. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Science for reals this time. Question 1.
Good.
I'm ready now.
What trench has the lowest point in the Atlantic Ocean?
I'm locked in.
Atlantic Ocean.
Yes.
Right. Okay. The other one we talked about is not in the Atlantic. I don't know this one.
I'm locked in.
I'm locked in.
All right, Kels.
I went with the Puerto Rico trench.
Andy?
Super cold, super deep trench.
Okay. And Davo?
I went with the Atlantis Highway.
Ooh, I like that one better.
Okay, so I just want you to know I have not given Kels the answers to this part. The correct answer is Puerto Rico.
Huh.
Yeah. Kels got a science question right. That's really great.
Yeah, that came on Noah.
All right, question 2. How many people have been to the bottom of the Mariana Trench? Within 1. I'll give you a range of 1 person.
Does Doctor Who count?
Actual real people.
I'm locked in.
I'm locked in.
Okay. Andy?
I'm going to say 2, Jacques Cousteau and Dr. Ballard.
Well, luckily for you, I didn't ask you to name them.
That's how I came up with 2, actually. That's why I'm joking here. I have no idea, but
Davo?
Yeah.
I said 5.
And Kels.
Now, did you say to like the bottom of the Mariana
Yes.
Trench? I went with none. It is a
Ooh.
trick question because Megatron is the only being to be at the bottom of the Mariana Trench,
I think
and
Kels
he's
is
not
right.
human.
Well, the correct answer, there were two gentlemen in a naval
Oh,
bathyscaphe in the 50s, I think.
Ooh.
And then just recently, I think in the 2000s, James Cameron went down in his own little submarine. So there have been a total of 3,
really?
which means Andy gets 10
Dang
points.
it.
Well played, Andy.
For completely the wrong reason, but he still got
For completely the wrong reasons. I totally guessed the 2 biggest oceanographers I could come up with.
one of the guys that went down in the naval ship was his name was Jacques Picard, if that helps. That's
Nice.
Nice.
Question 3. This one's a 50-50 question, so you have at least a 50% chance of getting it right.
Oh, that's how those work. Science.
Is seawater more salty in the tropics or in the polar regions?
Ooh. Logic.
You don't have to know why. You just have to.
I
love how you're softballing the science questions
wait a minute.
to us. It's okay to guess. Just do your best.
I'm locked in.
All right, let's start off with Davo.
Polar.
Okay. And Andy?
I started writing down tropical because my thought process was, salt doesn't really freeze. Salt water doesn't freeze. And then it hit me like a course. So in the polar region, the water, it's still liquid, is going to be more salty. So I crossed off tropical halfway through and put down polar.
And Kels?
Polar for the sweep.
Well, there was a sweep, but it was my sweep, not yours. The correct answer is tropics.
Man.
There's a number of reasons for it, but one of the reasons is the warmer water is able to. Have you ever, like, if you're making tea or something, hot tea absorbs or takes up more water, or more sugar, right, than cold tea does, right? So that's part of it. It dissolves the salt dissolves better. And there's other reasons too that I don't recall off the top of my head, but you were all incorrect. So
Excellent.
there's only one more science question, I promise.
Huh. Seems like we've been doing this for days.
So the theme is oceans,
Uh-huh.
but a sea isn't very well defined, but generally it's considered to be a region of an ocean that's bounded by either land or currents or specific latitudes and longitudes. So by that definition, what is the only sea that has no land boundaries? There's a sea that's bordered only by currents in a bigger ocean.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Not that one. But they.
No.
Oh no.
This feels tricksy.
Yeah.
It's not tricky. It's not a trick question.
Yeah. I'm gonna lock in with what I got. No,
I'm locked in with something wrong because I just
no.
every sea I can come up with, I can also find a coast for.
Maybe Davo, you just said you're going to lock in with what you've got. Maybe we should add a twist to the game where you could lock in with what someone else has asked.
Ooh, I will steal Kel's answer.
Oh, you don't want it.
No, mine isn't all that great.
Mine's brilliant.
Of course.
Yep. Don't want to brag, guys, but I got this one in the bag.
All right.
Nice.
Kels, you want to enlighten us? Are you locked in?
Yeah, I locked in. Well, it took everything in me to not say, the Sea of Tranquility.
Nice.
So I went with the Philippine Sea. I know it's wrong, but I just needed something out there.
Andy?
Well, I was really proud of my Sea of Tranquility answer, but apparently
Sorry,
that
Andy.
was a toss-off from Kels. So I'll go with Caribbean Sea.
And Davo?
Well, I will also go with Caribbean Sea, but I won't sing it.
That's probably good. Well, the correct answer is the Sargasso Sea.
Of course it is.
You're making
Where the
that
heck
up.
It is
that?
off the. It's in the middle of the Atlantic, basically.
Isn't that mentioned in Pirates of the
Probably.
Caribbean? That name Sargasso Sea sounds like a pirate.
Yeah, it's.
I never noticed your brilliant pirate voice until just now.
Yeah.
Don't hold back. You gotta let this
Really
shine.
is spot on.
It's called that because of the Sargasso seaweed that kind of accumulates in the middle of it, because it's basically a giant gyre that just kind of spins around slowly. And it's also because it's kind of bounded by these currents, it's relatively calm in the middle of it usually, so it's not necessarily the best place to sail. So
I think that's where the Kraken was in one of the movies.
In Sargasso?
Yeah, like
possibly.
Yeah, not good for sailing.
Yeah,
I've missed 8 science questions in a row. I feel terrible.
Well, here, if there's a silver lining, Davo, you're not that far behind.
That's the only silver lining.
Like 20 points.
Well, I don't know. My score, I've got Kels with 10, Andy with 10, and Davo with 0.
Yeah, we all did real well with that one.
Woo!
Okay,
that was fun.
Let's move on to music.
Oh, thank God.
Question 1. Billy Ocean won a Grammy in 1985 for what song?
Locked in.
Locked in.
Locked in.
Andy.
Caribbean Queen.
Do you know the full name?
That is the full name. Caribbean Queen.
Davo?
No?
I also put down Caribbean Queen.
Caribbean Queen.
I'll give you all credit for Caribbean Queen, but the full name is Caribbean Queen (parentheses) No More Love on the Run.
Oh,
really?
That's
because a song like that needs a subtitle.
Question 2. This Grammy Award-winning R&B singer joined the hip-hop collective Odd Future in 2010. For a bonus, what is the full name of Odd Future?
So you want the full name of Odd Future? You don't want the guy?
No, I want the guy. That's the question. The bonus is what is the full name of Odd Future?
Okay.
I'm locked in.
I kind of had vaguely heard of this guy, and when I was writing this question, I listened to a couple of his songs, and I'm not a big hip hop or R&B fan, but I really liked him. He's kind of different.
Yeah, he's got good stuff out there.
Assuming you
in.
know who it is, Kels.
I do. I'm a fan. My roommate introduced me to his music a while back.
I'm locked in.
Davo?
I went with Frank Ocean.
Andy?
It was Tito Jackson, and the full name is Odd Future. No, seriously, that's her full name. Just Odd Future.
No, you're not that far off. Kels?
Frank Ocean.
What?
And yeah,
That wasn't a joke?
No. Frank Ocean is real. Yeah.
I've never heard of this
It's
band.
a guy.
Well, it's one person.
Okay.
But
well, there you go.
Their proper name is Odd Future Wolfgang Killed Them All.
Of course,
correct answer is
abbreviated to OFWGKTA.
what Kels just said.
Sure.
Okay.
They're a weird bunch, man.
Oh, I'm doing great.
Yeah, most of the people in there I'd never heard of. I've heard of Tyler the Creator, although I don't know anything that he's sung. But there's like 20 people in it.
Yeah, they roll deep, as we used to say.
And I don't exactly know what a hip hop collective is, but it sounds pretty fun. I mean, it sounds like a party, right?
It's usually a group of acts bound together by usually a record label or a region that they all
they like sing on each other's albums and stuff like that.
Yeah, usually they pop up on each other's tracks.
Well, now I know. All right, question 3. The Ocean is a song on the album Houses of the Holy, which is the 5th album and first non-eponymous album from what band?
Locked in.
Locked in.
Locked in.
Kels?
I have no idea, but I went with Chicago.
Andy?
Oh, don't even scratch that wound. Okay, let's not pull that scab. Speaking of I see what you're doing. It's not going to work.
No,
Led Zeppelin.
What'd you say?
Led Zeppelin.
Davo?
Led Zeppelin.
Correct answer is Led Zeppelin. All right, question 4. The king of the surf guitar died recently at age 81. Name him, and for a bonus, name his signature song, which was used in the movie Pulp Fiction, among many others.
Locked in. Oh, man.
Did you know he died?
I can't remember the name of that song.
I
I did know he died.
I remember the song, but the name.
I'm locked in.
I'm gonna lock in.
Okay. Start with Davo.
The king of the surf guitar was Dick Dale, and it's got a one-word, really snappy title that I just cannot remember. I did not lock in for the bonus, but I know the song well.
Kels?
All right, I only know the bonus, and it's Miser Lou, I believe that's how it's pronounced.
Yeah, there you go.
But for the artist, I say Johnny Utah.
Andy?
I always thought it was pronounced Miserloo, but it's Dick Dale, and played a Fender. And the whole idea was he felt like he made it sound like he was playing underwater. It was kind of a very distinctive sound of his.
And the Mr. Lou is actually a traditional like Persian or Arabic song, and I think that's right, or maybe it's Greek. I forget now. But anyway, it was kind of his nationality, and so he played several songs in that in that style and modernized them. But so the correct answer is Dick Dale and Mr. Lou. So that was a lot better, Davo.
Get me out of that science.
At the end of round 2, I've got Andy with 42, Davo with 40, and Kels with 34.
Close game, kids.
Yeah.
All right, let's do
I'm
music
excited.
again.
Can we do comic books,
Next
please?
category is comic books.
No.
Yes.
No,
of
it's
course
not.
it's not.
Damn,
Dang
I already wrote it down.
The next category, category 3, is Oceania, which apparently some people are starting to say that Oceania is the continent that includes Australia and all the little islands. Yeah.
Friends.
So
Yeah.
that's what this category is about. Question 1. Guadalcanal was the location of the first major Allied offensive against Japan in World War II. What island nation is Guadalcanal a part of? I should say, what archipelago nation is Guadalcanal a part of? It's made of islands, but it's not an island.
I'm gonna lock in.
I'm locked in. It's a good question.
Thanks, Davo.
I feel like I should know
You're welcome.
this. I'm locking in.
For a long time, I thought Guadalcanal, it sounded like it was like South American or in Central America, but just the name.
It does.
But it is not. Davo, where is it?
I said the Marshall Islands.
Else?
I almost went that route, but I went with the Solomon Islands.
Andy.
Solomon Islands? Guess.
Your guess is the Solomon Islands. The correct answer is the Solomon Islands.
Take it.
Question 2. This atoll in the Marshall Islands was the site of 23 nuclear tests by the United States.
Locked in.
Between I think like 46 and 56. Was that everybody?
I don't know.
Locked in.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm locked in.
Okay. Kels?
Are you ready, kids? Oh, I spaced. I believe it's Bikini Atoll.
Andy?
Bikini Atoll, and that's the only way I knew it as well.
Davo?
Bikini Atoll.
Correct. Okay, question 3. If Australia is the largest island in Oceania, what is the second largest?
Locking in with a guess.
I'm locking in as well.
Okay. Andy?
Greenland?
That's a big island.
Davo?
I went with the South Island of New Zealand.
And Kels?
I went with I'm not sure how to pronounce it. I've never heard it said. Papua New Guinea.
Oh, there you go.
Okay.
So I guess it's not Greenland.
Let me.
Okay.
Then it's probably
Look up something.
Borneo or something like that. I didn't know if Indonesia would be part of Oceania.
So this might not have been a great question. Depends on how you define Oceania. I was basing it on um, the actual islands. Politically, they don't consider the Indonesia part of New Guinea as that's part of Indonesia. So that half of the island isn't part of Oceania.
Oh,
Okay.
But I was including it. I was including that entire island as Oceania. So the correct answer is New Guinea.
Mhm.
Papua New Guinea is the east side of the island. It's the country,
Mm-hmm.
right?
oh, so the whole island is
So
New Guinea.
the whole island is called New Guinea.
Oh,
So I'm trying to decide. I think I'll give Kels half credit for that.
That's fair.
Does that sound good to you guys?
Yeah.
I'll take it.
I think Andy should get minus points for saying Greenland.
You know, it's
Yeah.
tempting.
Yeah.
We don't want to start that precedent.
No. We'll have people winning with 2 points.
Okay. Everybody had their fun. Should have guessed
Question
Walden.
4. Question 4. The strait between the North and South Islands of New Zealand are named after what explorer?
Locked in.
Is everybody locked in?
Yeah, I'm locked in with a total guess.
Okay. Kels, what's your answer?
I just threw out Gibraltar.
Okay. Davo?
Captain Cook.
And Andy?
Much better answer.
I am surprised at both of my teammates here. We seem to have forgotten the exploits of Captain Crunch and the amazing things that he has done for exploring the ocean. It is indeed the Crunch Straits where the crunch berries come from. And Davo, I'm looking at you.
I can't
Where
believe
were
I
you?
forgot the exploits of Captain Aloysius Horatio Crunch.
You mean the guy whose name changes every time you do this? Every time?
He has
It does not.
Look, he has so many.
He's only a
No, he doesn't.
pioneer in destroying the roof of your mouth. That's the only thing.
It's just Horatio Magellan. He doesn't have that many names. However, that is not the correct name. It is the Cook Strait, named after Captain James Cook.
James.
It was
Yay.
pretty much
Actually, it was Captain Crunch's cook. Captain Crunch was so embarrassed by by people using his name constantly. He's like, you know what, Cookie, this one's yours. Famous quote of his: Cookie, this one's yours. It's the kind of guy Captain Crunch was.
He's a good man.
Was a good man.
all right. We have an extremely tight game right now. I've got Andy with 62 points, Davo with 60 points, and Kels with 59 points.
Yeah.
I don't know
This kind
how
of game we
I'm
like.
winning because I feel like I'm losing. Turn your paper off.
I feel like we're all losing in a way.
Oh, this is a rough
Oh,
one.
man.
We're in rough seas here, boys.
Yeah, look to the crunch.
Speaking of being in rough seas, category 4 is movies. What is the name of the 1940?
Well, Kel's got this
Why
one
do you guys
right.
do
You haven't
movies?
finished the question, but Kel's got it.
There's going to be at least one of these that you guys will get. Probably.
I hope.
Question 1. What is the name of the 1944 Hitchcock survival movie set entirely on a boat in the ocean?
Locked in.
Man, that's one of the few I haven't seen. Looked really good, though.
but do you know the name of it?
I do not.
I'm locked in.
I'm locked in as well.
Andy, were you locked in?
Yeah, I locked in
Yeah.
first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kels?
First. I want to say it was Lifeboat.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Do you want to, or you're going to?
I also would like to lock in with the Lifeboat.
Okay, there we go. Andy
Lifeboat?
and Davo.
I said shipwreck.
Your answer is Lifeboat. There's kind of some
Nice.
interesting stories behind it. You know how Hitchcock used to do cameos in all of his movies? This movie took place. This movie took place entirely on a lifeboat, so there really wasn't any opportunity for him to just kind of stroll by, right? So what they did is he had recently lost some weight, so they had a newspaper in the lifeboat that had a weight loss drug ad with a before and after picture that was Alfred Hitchcock before and after, and that was his cameo. Someone looked at that.
That's fantastic.
There he was.
Good evening. I'm sorry.
He got a this film was made in 1944, and you guys know what was going on during that time.
Yes, indeed.
And there was a German U-boat captain. Basically, the story is an American ship got torpedoed by, I guess, mutually destroyed a U-boat. I don't know the exact story, but anyway, they had a German captain on board, and they kind of portrayed him in a somewhat favorable light, and got a lot of criticism for that.
Yeah, it's kind of an anti-war film because they turn on the German captain quite
Yeah.
brutally at the end of the film, and you kind of get a sense of he was a human being too, trying to escape the shipwreck.
Well, if I remember correctly, wasn't he had some water or something in a flask that he was holding from
Yeah,
this?
I mean he was also double dealing, but you know, in classic Hitchcock, nobody was really innocent in that lifeboat.
Yeah, but in
By
the
end
end,
of the film.
they did save a German sailor too.
Yeah, that's true. I've always loved the opening couple minutes of that film. It's a close shot of a steamboat whistle. And suddenly, and it looks like, you know, the steamboat whistle up against the sky like you've seen in 1,000 films. And then suddenly it sinks beneath the waves. And it's really a shocking moment when you're in the opening scene of that film when you realize, oh, I was a sinking ship I was looking at.
Spoiler alert to anybody out there who hasn't seen it.
That would be me. So thanks, Andy.
Well,
But it's
isn't
from
there
1944, so it's
right?
fine.
I mean, I think we're safe.
We had time. So.
Yeah, I've had plenty of time to see that movie.
In The Sixth Sense, he was dead all along, Davo, just so you know.
What? You monster!
Sorry. Luke is actually related to Darth Vader.
What?
Yep.
Third cousin.
Getting that out there.
So one last bit on Lifeboat. There's no music throughout. There's music during the opening and closing credits, but none throughout the rest of the movie. And when talking about that with someone, Hitchcock said, "But it's silly. There's no orchestra out there in the middle of the ocean." And which kind of sounds like a good point until the person he was talking with said, "Well, there's no cameras either." So anyway, let's move on to question 2. In the movie Castaway, what piece of flotsam does Tom Hanks use as a sail on the raft he sails off of his island?
Ooh.
Could you repeat that?
In the movie Castaway, what piece of flotsam does Tom Hanks use as a sail on the raft that he sails off his island on? I think I have too many prepositions in that sentence, but what does he use as a sail on his raft?
Oh. I'm I'm locking in with a.
I know about the volleyball. I know about the FedEx package he kept forever that he delivered.
If you've
Can't
seen the
remember
movie,
his sale.
you see the movie. If you've seen it, you're gonna remember when you find out the answer. I think.
Well, I'm locked in with something. It's just not ringing a bell.
It's not a bell.
Yeah.
Man, I have no idea. I've seen it a couple times and haven't done this in a while. I'm gonna punt.
Ray guy.
Hang time.
For some reason, I don't ever hear Andy when he locks in. But let's start with Andy. What's your answer?
It's a big sheet of like plastic, and it's a sign, isn't it?
I'll tell you in a moment.
That's all I got.
Better
Why
than
am I
me,
asking
man.
you?
Davo?
I just put a tarp because I can't remember it all.
Bells.
The ball's still in there. Still in there. It's hanging up there.
Oh, that's right. You punted. The correct answer is a portable toilet.
Oh, that's right.
Oh my goodness!
Washed
That's
up
where I
on
was
the
getting
shore.
the plastic. It's made out of.
Yeah, it's made out of plastic. Yeah, it's a porta john.
Don't remember that at all.
Question 3. In what ocean did the film Captain Phillips take place? Speaking of Tom Hanks.
Locked in.
I'm locked in.
Locked in.
Davo?
Well, I said the Indian Ocean because they were Somali pirates.
Andy?
That's all I got.
That's exactly the same logic I had. Indian Ocean.
Kels?
I also went with the Indian Ocean because I felt like we haven't mentioned it today.
Well, we'd hate for the Indian Ocean. Our fans in the Indian Ocean, we don't want to be slighting you.
We have a couple.
In the Indian Ocean, like on a boat with Wi-Fi.
Hey, man. From India.
Those pelagic snakes we talked about earlier hang out there a lot.
Hey.
Right.
Which is also the same ocean that Captain Phillips takes place because they were indeed Somali pirates.
Yay. Did we just yay Somali pirates or that we got the answer right?
I'm going to go with the question.
I don't think we're yaying. I don't think we're. No, we don't. No.
We here at Brain Little does not advocate piracy.
Well, unless they're fans of the show.
Yes, and then are.
I mean, if they are good fans of the show and leave us a review on iTunes or so, then yeah, we're fine with it.
Yeah.
All right. Question 4. Although a box office flop, this movie, inspired by Jacques Cousteau, stars Bill Murray, Owen Wilson, Kate Blanchett, Angelica Houston, Willem Dafoe, Jeff Goldblum, and Michael Gambon, among others. So you can give me the short name, or if you give me the full name correctly, I'll give you some bonus points.
Okay. I'm locked in.
I'm locked in. I'm just thinking about the full name.
I'm locked in.
Kels?
I believe it's The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou.
Okay. Oh. The with Steve Zissou is the bonus part. Andy?
I just have Life Aquatic.
Okay. And Davo?
I have Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou.
All right.
That is a really intriguing movie.
That is the only Wes Anderson movie I ever fell asleep watching.
Yeah,
I just
Wendy
couldn't.
and I
It
love
was
Wes
not
Anderson
engaging.
movies. I thought it was okay. I thought it was pretty good. Wendy hated it. In fact, I ended up watching the rest of it by myself. Wendy kind of like, yeah, I'm done with this.
Yeah, it was not a very engaging film to me.
I couldn't get into it either. I
Yeah.
tried.
All right, at the end of round 4, Andy still in the lead with 92, although Kels is a close second with 91, and Davo is hanging in there at 82.
Woot!
I still can't believe I'm winning this because I feel like I'm losing.
Well, when you win, we all win.
That's not true, Dave. Only I win. Yeah.
Got a point.
All right, category 5 is sports.
Okay.
Question 1. The winner of this
Please tell me there's no water wrestling.
No, there's not. I mean, there is water wrestling, but not in this quiz. There's also underwater hockey and underwater football, and there's a lot of underwater sports. I'm sure someday there's going to be underwater Quidditch.
You can't breathe underwater, right? These people know this, right?
That's why they have snorkels.
Oh, okay.
All right, question 1. The winner of this ocean race gets to keep the oldest trophy in international sports. First one in 1851.
I'm locked in.
You said this ocean race?
Yes. Because this is a theme, a question, or a quiz about oceans.
I don't doubt that part.
I'm locked in. This is probably the only one I'm going to get out of all of these.
Yeah, I have no idea. When in doubt, make some up.
Just think
Yo,
back
I
to
did
your
a
old
whole
wrestling
episode like that
promos.
once.
You know, just think back to those old wrestling promos and you'll pull yet another answer out of your nose.
I was serious about the Perry Saturn one, though.
I know you were. I felt the seriousness. And that's just the kind of obscure, like, put the little red string between weird pictures logic that you would connect.
Well, I mean, it probably
All
it probably helped that he already had the answer and he just had to make the connections.
Yeah.
I've seen him do that too many times. I know he was fed the answers, but I've seen him do that too many times. He sold your prank so well. I still can't get over it.
All
right, Andy, what's your answer?
Well, you know, I couldn't come up with this one. Then I remembered an interview with Cyndi Lauper and Captain Lou Albano. And Cyndi Lauper asked Captain Lou how he became a captain, and he'd done it through racing and sailing, and he'd won the America's Cup. So I think it's America's Cup.
Else?
I had no idea. So I said, it's the Been Around the World and I Cup.
Did you find your baby?
Yeah, I did, actually.
I don't know what that means either.
I don't either.
All right, Davo.
You never heard that song?
I don't know what song you're referring to.
I don't know the name of it.
I know what song it is now. Oh my God.
It's Lisa Stansfield. Come on.
Yeah, I got it.
Who?
I also put down the America's Cup.
The correct answer is the America's Cup. So the New York Yacht Club won it for the first time in 1851. And maybe the reason that you don't hear about it, Kels, is it's not a regular event. Basically, the yacht club that holds it gets challenged by other yacht clubs, and then they typically will just be a one-on-one race. And it's usually a series of races, like 3 to 7 races, depending on how they define it. But the New York Yacht Club held on to that trophy for 132 years before they finally lost it. All right, question 2. Yeah. In surfing, what is a dagger board?
Dagger board.
I'm gonna lock in.
I'm locked
I
in.
like my answer.
I'm locked in as well.
Kels?
I said it was the board used to kill sharks that you might
Okay.
run up on.
Oh, good.
Andy?
Whoa.
It's a nail file because it's important to have good cuticles when you're hang 10.
Okay. And Davo?
I said it was the little fin on the back of the surfboard. A little tiny
Oh,
fin.
that's
on
actually
the
a
back.
good answer.
Oh,
Oh.
yeah.
So technically, see, I'm not seeing it here now, but I'll give it to you, Davo. The dagger board is a long fin on the bottom of the board that keeps you from having lateral movement.
Yeah.
All right.
Good to know.
Question 3. Evergreen State College in Olympia, Washington has an interesting mascot, which is also tasty seafood. What is their mascot?
Locked in.
Hmm.
I'm surprised, Kels.
I am
Kels
locked in
usually
as
is
well.
all over these minor or smaller sports mascots.
Sure.
Yeah.
I struggle. How else will you get through, Andy? Oh, no, it's good, fellas.
I know what you were doing.
You see in the helicopter. Oh, I'll
Okay.
lock in. Sure.
Andy?
I'm game.
I don't know specifically this college, but as most of you know, I was extraordinarily athletic in high school, and I was called the Shrimp, and because of its athletic prowess. And so I'm presuming that that same compliment I had in high school carries through to the university. So yeah, they're the
Okay.
Shrimps.
Davo?
Well, you said in your question,
Yes.
tasty seafood, which led me to not want to put down like a fish because it wasn't. I know fish are tasty seafood, but you might have said fish otherwise. So I said, which coincidentally was my high school athletic mascot. My nickname was the Scallop. So I went with the Scallop.
I don't know why, but Scallop is brilliant.
Kels, what was your nickname in high school?
Well, it wasn't spelled the same way, but I was the
nice.
muscle.
Oh.
You know, and that's probably not too far from the truth.
Yeah.
Nah, I was the elevator actually.
But your answer is the muscle.
Your name was actually the elevator?
Well, to be totally honest, I gave it to myself and then validated it. So,
Oh. You're not allowed to give them to yourself.
well,
But they
when
were the
work-
mussels? They're the evergreen mussels?
No,
That's awesome. Oh,
they are the evergreen gooey ducks. Oh, they are.
what is
Have you ever had
gooey
one?
duck?
It's
what?
a giant
What
clam.
is it?
It's a giant clam.
It's a clam,
Yeah, it's
and it's
spelled
called a gooey duck.
It's spelled Geoduck, but pronounced gooey duck. And they're
So it's a clam, but it's called a duck. What type of wizardry are you? Is this an April Fool's joke?
It's duck season and rabbit season.
Gooey ducks are very real, and they are very large clams, and they are gross.
Except for the
You
people
don't like
that really
oysters?
like them and will pay a lot of money for them.
Yeah, I was about to say. I mean,
Yes, they're kind of a delicacy. But they're
so
huge.
Like caviar?
And they're ugly. They're like huge and ugly and nasty looking things.
Is it like eating an oyster though, or is it?
No.
I mean, is it oyster on a bigger scale, or is it something completely different? Oh, it's not spelled gooey duck. Oh, I get it.
It's spelled geoduck.
Oh, okay. I've seen.
There's a picture I'm looking at. It's amazing. That's their actual
mascot.
I didn't know what it was. Okay.
It looks like a burrito with an artichoke stuck through it.
It looks like a burrito trying to digest the artichoke.
Yeah, burrito's eating an artichoke.
Oh man!
So, in case it wasn't clear, the Evergreen State College is kind of an unusual. It's a non-traditional college. Their motto is Omnia Exteris, which means "Let it all hang out." Students design their own curriculum. Basically, they don't really have grades per se. I think everything's pretty much pass-fail. It's an interesting place. It's a beautiful campus, though. I used to live pretty close to it. And they are in the they compete in the NAIA, in case you were wondering.
No problem.
All right, are we ready for question 4? Okay.
Yeah.
I did not know this prior to looking up this question, but yachting or sailing has been an event at every modern Olympic Games except for one. What U.S. city was the host of the Olympics that didn't have any sailing events? The only modern Olympics that didn't have sailing events.
It'd have to be a Summer Olympics, right?
That wasn't part of the question, but
I shouldn't be talking out loud. I'm sorry.
I'm
locked in with a something.
You know, now that you mentioned it, Andy, it could be ambiguous. There were actually probably several that didn't have it, if you include Winter Olympics, but we're definitely talking about Summer Olympics.
Right. All right, I'm locking in with a total guess.
Let's start with Davo.
I went way back in time, and I locked in with St. Louis.
Andy? Ooh. All I could think of for a Summer Olympics in the United States was Los Angeles.
Well, I did think about St. Louis, but I went with Atlanta.
Yeah, you. I mean, Atlanta and St. Louis are both kind of obvious. I'm guessing you probably decided not to go with St. Louis because of the river there. You thought maybe. Well, the correct answer is St. Louis, and I'm not sure if the lack of open water was the reason or not. Because there've been other places that haven't been on the ocean, like Atlanta, for example, that did have sailing events. But all right, at the end of round 5, Andy, you're no longer solely in the lead. It is Andy and Davo are tied with 102, and Kels is in second place or third place with 91.
Close game, guys.
Which brings us to our last category.
Dun, dun, dun.
By this time, I was kind of struggling to think of new ocean categories, so I ended up going with fictional sea captains.
Yarr! Captain Crunch ahoy!
Captain Crunch is not fiction. We've talked about this.
Okay. Question 1. What is the nationality of Captain Nemo from 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea?
Oh. Locked in.
I'm locked in too, but I'm not happy.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think so.
Let's start with Davo.
I don't know how precise you want to be as far as nationalities go. I was very broad. I believe he was Indian.
Okay. That's a nation. Else?
I also went with Indian.
And Andy.
I went with Indian.
Anyway, yes. Some people may know the name Captain Nemo from movies like The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. I think it was a comic book too, wasn't it? Or a
Yes.
graphic novel.
Graphic novel.
Very good graphic novel.
Really bad movie.
Where he was also known as Prince Dakar, I think, something like that, because he is indeed Indian.
Yay.
Or his father was like an Indian Raja or something like that. Question 2. Captain Archibald Haddock is a character from which Belgian comic series?
Oh, I'm locked in. I am locked in.
I am locked in as well.
Really?
Yes, I am.
All right, I'm locked in.
All right. Let's start with Kels. What's your answer?
I'd like to give a shout out to HBO and Snowy, the dog in the show. I believe it is The Adventures of Tintin.
Eva?
The Adventures of Tintin.
And Andy.
The Adventures of Captain and Neil.
Unfortunately, I don't think Captain and Neil had a character named Archibald Haddock, but The Adventures of
Would have been
Tintin
cool
did.
if they would have.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
On trombone, Captain Archibald Haddock.
Yeah, how cool does that sound? Come on. Yep.
All right. Question 3. What is the name of Captain Ahab's ship from Moby Dick?
Ooh.
And for a bonus, what is that? Not what is the ship, but what is the ship named after?
Named after. I know the name, but
yeah. I'm locked in.
I'm locked in.
With maybe partial credit.
I'm locked in with half an answer.
Well, the what's it named after is just a bonus. So.
Oh, okay. Then I've got the okay.
Andy, what do you have?
It's the Pequod.
Okay, Kels.
I went with the Pequod, and I believe that was the name of his first love in high school.
Lovely Pequod. And Davo.
I got the wrong Qua. I went with Queequeg. So.
Oh, that's one of the characters.
Yeah.
Well, the correct answer is Pequod, and that is the name of an Indian tribe, a Native American tribe in the Connecticut area.
Oh.
Where his first love took her name from, right?
Let it go, Kels. You're already winning.
With that, yeah.
Okay.
Question 4. Captain Jack Aubrey is the captain of the Sophie in this first book of a 20-plus book series. So I'm looking for the name of the first book of that series, which is kind of also a placeholder for the series as a whole, I think.
I'm locked in.
Man.
So we're asking about the name of the books or the name of the...
The name of the book.
What'd you say?
Name of the book.
What'd you say the captain's name was?
The
What'd you say
captain,
the captain's name was?
Jack Aubrey, Aubrey. He was the captain of the Sophie.
Sophie.
So no pressure on this last question, but right now the scores are separated by 1 point.
Yeah, not for much longer. Because I got a joke answer.
I doubt there are that many books in this series, but I'm gonna go with it.
Locked in?
Yeah, I'm gonna lock in.
Okay. Kels?
Chronicles of Narnia.
Oh,
Andy?
Dianetics by L. Ron Hubbard, and that's the name of the ship that's going to take us all away. If we believe, if we really believe.
And Davo?
Horatio Hornblower.
Huh.
That's a real guy.
The correct answer is Master and Commander.
Oh,
You may have seen
I've
the
even
movie.
seen that movie.
I
have seen
haven't
that
seen
movie.
the movie.
It's a good movie.
Is he Captain Aubrey in that movie? Russell Crowe?
I don't think.
Does he play?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
Isn't he?
It's a really good movie. I didn't know there were that many books in that series.
Yeah. No, I love the movie.
Is it Far Side of the World?
Far Side of the
Yeah.
World.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
I'm curious now. I thought it was. Yeah.
So it's not Dianetics by L. Ron Hubbard.
Yeah, Russell Crowe played Captain Jack Aubrey. So this is easily the closest game we've ever had. I have, for the final scores before the final question, Andy and Davo tied at 122, and Kels has 121. I'm afraid I might end up having to come up with a tiebreaker depending on how well you guys do on this last question, because I'm thinking you guys might actually do pretty well. So it would be criminal to do a oceans themed show without talking about Ocean's 11.
Yes.
So I have in front of me a list of 22 actors who played in the Steven Soderbergh versions of the Ocean's 11 series. So Ocean's 11, 12, 13, and 8. And all you need to do is name any 10 of those actors for 10 points each.
So we're not talking about the original 1960s version, but
Correct.
rather the modern version. Okay.
Right.
How many actors do I need to come up with?
You need 10 for 10 points
All
each.
right.
And there's 22 total. There's no bonuses for getting extras. Kelvin.
Okay.
Do you just want the guys in on the heist, or just
Yeah, I'm sorry. These are the people that are actually in the 11, 12, 13, or 8, not ancillary characters.
Okay,
You don't need
just
character
people
names, you
in
want
on.
actor names.
I'm looking for the actor names.
I could give you both if you need.
I don't need it.
You show off.
I know. I did really very poorly in sports, so
I'm having a harder time than I should have with this.
All right, Kel, since you are in the rear, why don't you start us off?
All right. So I have George Clooney as Danny Ocean, Brad Pitt, Rusty Ryan. There's Carl Reiner. There's Don Cheadle. There's Bernie Mac, Casey Affleck, Scott Conn, Matt Damon, Andy Garcia. There's Terry Benedict and Julia Roberts, Tess Ocean, who was the 12 in Ocean's 12.
Andy?
I have George Clooney, Julia Roberts, Carl Reiner, Matt Damon, Andy Garcia, Brad Pitt, Bernie Mac, Elliot Gould, Sammy Davis Jr., and Frank Sinatra.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, ran out at 8.
And Davo.
Brad Pitt, George Clooney, Bernie Mac, Casey Affleck, Matt Damon, Anne Hathaway, Kate Blanchett,
Oh, that's right.
Rihanna, Don Cheadle, and Sarah Paulson.
You didn't go with Aquafina?
Did not go with Aquafina.
I just love how she spells her name. That is fantastic.
So let's start with Andy. Your first 8 were correct. The last 2 were not. So you have 80
They were in a movie called Ocean's 11, I assure you.
I know, but I was pretty specific.
We agree with you.
Kels, you mentioned Andy Garcia. You know, he was not one of the gang in Ocean's 11 or 12,
He was,
but he
13,
was in
though.
13. So you got 100 points for that one. And Davo, you got some of the Ocean's
Also
8
got 100
ladies,
points.
including Rihanna, Anne Hathaway, Blanchett, and Sarah Paulson. And you got all 10 of them right, which means our final
Davo always remembering the ladies.
Hey.
Our final scores are Andy with 202, Kels with 221, and Davo with 222 points.
Davo!
Woo!
That was a close one.
That was a great match, guys.
Oh.
Let me get this
Give me
orange
third
belt
place.
off and hand it to Andy
Thanks.
as I
Davo.
climb to green. Green
There
belt
he
for
is.
me.
Up on high.
How
Hi,
was
Dave.
Ocean's 8? Did you see it?
Me? Did I see it? No. I just remember the trailer.
It was all right. I saw it on Netflix, I think, or somewhere. I don't remember.
Well, thank you very much, guys, for an excellent game. I had a great time. I won, so I had an even better time.
Oh, good
So
for
from
you.
all of us here
Love to see you
at
shine.
the Brain Ladle Trivia Podcast, this is Green Belt Davo with Orange Belt Andy.
So long, Ladle Brainers.
Purple Belt Kels.
How about a nice cold Coke 45?
And Sensei Neil.
More wonderful than the lore of old men and the lore of books is the secret lore of ocean. That's a quote by H.P. Lovecraft.
Signing off.
Hello, all you good trivia people out there. If you like what you hear, I have exciting news for you. You can listen to this show on your favorite podcast apps, wherever that might be. Whatever floats your boat. You got any ideas, you can tweet us at Ladle Brain. If you're into the Facebook kind of thing, we're at Brain Ladle Productions. Also, YouTube at Brain Ladle Productions. Kind of redundant, but you get the idea. We also have a website, brainladletrivia.com. If you want to get us individually, there's Neil, there's Kels, there's Davo, and there's even an Andy fellow. If you're feeling generous, also have a Patreon. You know, if you can send us some ducats, it really help out the show. And that leads into us helping you. So help us, help you, and you be classy out there. Hope I'm out. The preceding podcast was presented by Brain Ladle Productions. All rights reserved.